So apparently I'm a dissident with the common party line here on YouTube about flavor, but I wanted to come straight out and say this. No, this is not going to be a taste test on video, unfortunately. I just don't, I could, but honestly I hate fucking Pibb Xtra so much that I don't want to subject myself to that nonsense, and so, but I am a dissident at this point, I guess, because there is a outspoken group of people that have the opposite preference here on the platform, and subtle nods to you, but I also disagree with you. This is not one of those disagreements that I care about. It's not a big deal. You do you, I'll do me. Whatever. Pibb Xtra just ain't for me. But you do you, man. Cool. You like the Pibb Xtra variant? I don't. But back in like 2000, I remember that when we would go to the grocery store, and it was usually Publix for us down in Florida. I think a lot of it was because of the fact that in the context of the time we were going in for, and they would have those fresh donuts, those glazed donuts that they had in the store, and I've tried them since coming back to Oregon, and I've missed the Publix brand glazed donuts. Like, I've tried glazed donuts since, and it's just not been the same. I don't know, there was just something about the stuff that the bakeries made that were just on point about how the glazed donuts should be made. And so anyways, we would go in, and they had Mr. Pibb on the shelf, and eventually I had to direct Mom to get them instead of Dr. Pepper, because I started to notice, and after a while, that it was slightly sweeter, a little bit more caffeinated, and it was still just the same fruity soda. And at that point, the changes in my taste, ended up starting to prefer Mr. Pibb. And then they did this crap when they tried to be the Dr. Pepper. They tried to be something that wasn't Dr. Pepper. They tried to be their own thing entirely, and so they introduced this spicy cherry variant and everything. And the thing that really grips me is that I like cinnamon and I like cherries. I'm big on both, but you bring them together and they're not necessarily complementary. And I wasn't really, when I reach for a soda, I'm not looking for a spicy soda. I'm looking for a fruity one. And so when this happened, it sent me crashing way back to Dr. Pepper. And I haven't touched Coke's brand in years. In fact, when I go out at this point, and it's like, it's an establishment that says you can't bring your own drinks into the building and everything because they want to sell it to you on premise. Like, when I go in to one of those places, what I will do with my little Stanley type-ish cup, it's probably not like a literally Stanley, I don't know what brand it is. I'm not one of those big people that really cares. It keeps my drink somewhat colder than, a normal, thing, so it's nice and everything, and it's got a lid so it limits spills and everything, and you can cap the straw with little things that go on top of it too to make sure that when it knocks over, it doesn't spill anything. But so, anyways, when I go into one of those places now, I just smuggle Dr. Pepper cans into the place, like when I go to the movie theaters, and the reason why I do it, okay, I'm not cheap. I'm not that cheap, anyways. I mean, I definitely am cost conscious, but I wouldn't say that, if I go to a movie theater and filling up a soda cost, maybe $4 as opposed to $1, and everything, that I'm going to lose my, one or two, as it would be in other places, I'm going to lose my shit and refuse to get a soda at that point when I go up to the fountain. But when I go up to the fountain and they don't have Dr. Pepper, and or if they do, the only thing they try to, the only thing that they have though is the Coke branded Pibb Xtra. That's when I start smuggling my own drinks in. It's not that I object to the markup. It's that you won't sell me what I want at any price, and that leads to smuggling, soda in to the movie theater. I don't compromise at this point, and so it's been what, 20-ish years at this point, and really 25 if you want to rewind the clock. But yeah, I haven't touched Pibb, Coke's brand that, at everything in 25 years. I hate Pibb Xtra. I find it absolutely vile and everything. And, I know that there are people that share the opposite opinion, and they're free to have their opinion. They share it on this platform all the time. We disagree. Good for you. You do you, like some of it is just one of those things where I don't care if you disagree with me about it. I just, in my view, in my humble opinion, I think Dr. Pepper is 1,000 times better than Pibb Xtra and everything. And as a result, I won't even touch Pibb Xtra and everything as a brand. So, just wanted to say I'm excited. Unfortunately, I haven't seen Coke's new formulation for Mr. Pibb show up on the shelves here in, the valley, as in the Willamette Valley region and everything. I have not seen any on a store shelf at Walmart or, Fred Meyer / Kroger, since Kroger clearly owns Fred Meyer. And I haven't even seen them over at the local Winco location and everything, and I know that a lot of people swear by them because they're employee owned, and they're like, you want a place that, but we go in and, as much as I don't mind, I've got relatives that really do. I don't care when I go into Winco and, they don't really help us with bagging as much and everything over there. I have found that when I go there, I'm a little bit more, my hand isn't held as much when I go into Winco and everything, but that's fine. I actually prefer it that way. I just have relatives that feel the opposite,